welcome back to my vlog.
It's qnnessq vlog.
We don't have time for that right now because something important happened. The other day, James Charles liked my tweet. I know. Insane, but it happened to me. So I put a picture on my Snapchat story of something I saw in Target and it said, "Hi sisters," and I was like, wow. How ironic, I'm a sister. So I proceeded to put on my Snapchat story, and then a couple hours later I screenshotted it and I tweeted it and I tagged James Charles in it, and then like 5 minutes later my phone was like bzz, bzz, bzz. James Charles verified liked your tweet. Also, he was the first person to like my tweet. Hello. If you were part of the group that I texted about this happening, if you saw it on my Snapchat story, follow me, link in description. If you follow me on Twitter, link in description. You would have seen that this happened to me like at the time that it happened. So like congratulations for being a part of that with me. But anyway, in honor of that, I will be attempting to follow a James Charles makeup tutorial. Let's get started.
Hi sisters, James Charles here, and welcome. Makeup routine is usually priming, and the number one step that is absolutely vital to any good makeup routine is skincare. And the way I always like to prep my skin before putting on makeup or before videos is with a moisturizer. I'm probably gonna blow your mind right now. Well, maybe not.
I have moisturizer. I'm sure I don't have whatever he has. So today I'll be using Ultra Repair Cream by First Aid Beauty. Fab.
I did wash my hands before starting to film this video, and I'm just going to...
1 second. They're washed now. I'm not ready yet. I gotta put on my moisturizer. James. Okay.
For today's video, I'm going to talk about the Benefit Professional Primer. I don't really use primers that often.
There, honey. I don't have that. So, as you can tell, I have very red skin. So, my primer is called All Calm Clinical Redness Corrector 50 Broad Spectrum SPF 50 Sunscreen PA+++++. So, let's skip to how he does it.
Pea-sized dollop. I'm going to place this primer in the areas that I have most skin texture and pores, and that is going to be kind of right here on the cheek region, right in the middle of the forehead, and on the chin. But what I'm not going to do is put it on the nose, and I'll get to why in a few short seconds. You guys know one question that I get asked all the time is, how do I get my foundation to stay on my nose? I'm going to grab my iconic London contouring palette. These are...
I don't have that, honey.
I'm going to grab like probably this shade right here with a more packing brush.
Like,
and what I'm going to do is literally just go all over my nose and really pack this in. I know this might look absolutely ridiculous and crazy. Please do not do this if you're going for a light coverage everyday makeup look. This is for intense makeup people.
I guess we're gonna try that. I guess we're gonna use this brush. It's called Sephora brush. It's the Airbrush Crease. Perfect. He just put it all over his nose. What I have is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Fair Neutral, because that's who I am. This brush is doing nothing. I'm just gonna say that's good. Next.
If you are a glasses wearer, is how to avoid getting those two little circles on the sides of your nose and messing up your makeup. You don't. That is why I wear contacts. So the next step is going to be a foundation, and for today's video I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I am personally in the shade Nude.
Hold on. Look at his nose. He blended that out. Okay. He tried to trick me. Tried to make me look a fool. Okay, whatever. He's on to foundation. I don't have whatever he has, so I have the Makeup Forever foundation. Let's see how he does it.
I'm going to be applying the foundation to my face today using a damp beauty blender. I personally really...
He already put it on his hand.
Really love how sponges apply foundation to...
I put that down my nose.
In a makeup store.
Don't know if I was supposed to do that. Slow down. Okay. She's as blended as she's gonna be, so. Okay, now he has concealer, and I know he uses the Shape Tape, so came prepared for that one. Nice try.
My favorites because it's full coverage, blends out easily on the skin. I will say though, it is drying. I have oily skin, so this works perfectly fine for me. But if you have dry skin, a concealer like this is going to be your absolute worst nightmare. And that's why it's so important to do research on the different formulations of products.
He just skipped. I have to hook up her lip. That might be because he has facial hair and I don't, but we're doing what he does. He's Sister James.
Have dry skin, a concealer like this is going to be your absolute worst nightmare. And that's why it's so important to do research on the different formulations of products beforehand.
I look like there's an eagle on my face.
Formula to it. I absolutely love that for doing dewy looks, or also if I'm wearing no.
Okay, calm down. I'll get that ready in a second. I gotta blend this first because you didn't tell me how to do it. Good enough.
To get rid of the creases, I'm gonna have my setting powder at the ready.
Okay, oh sorry. I use the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder, original formula. Oh, that spilled everywhere. That was so stupid, Anessa. Okay, well, love that. Oh, it is all over my shirt. Oh, and my legs. It's everywhere. Okay, well, James, it's ready for you.
I'm just gonna go to the pointy end of my damp beauty blender and just kind of push those creases up. And then with that same exact beauty blender, still damp, I'm gonna dip it right into that powder, and I'm just gonna push this right underneath the eye.
Okay.
Using a damp.
I'll be there in a second. And then he immediately went in with the same beauty blender and went right in there, and then right under the eye. Good.
Presses the powder into the skin,
Oh,
which
he already did the other
modifies
eye.
the
Okay, hold on. Well, now this is gonna be mixed with powder. Okay, so we're gonna go into the powder, and now we're gonna go.
If you are like me and you have very, very oily skin, and you tend to talk with a lot of expression throughout the day, since you're not like packing it on, you're kind of more melting it into the face, your smile lines and your forehead lines might start to peek through a little bit.
Smile lines, that's where he's putting it. Got it.
Next, obviously, comes sculpting, contouring, blush, bronzer, highlighter, the whole shebang. But there's one thing that I want to do.
I think he wiped off his under eye bake. We're gonna go in and do that because it doesn't look like he has any on anymore. So we're gonna go in with our e.l.f. powder brush, and we're gonna wipe off this. I think we're good.
And that is give my face a good spread of MAC Fix Plus with my.
You know I don't have that. I have Makeup Forever Professional Paris Mix and Fix 2 spray. That's in a different language. Makeup setting spray, long lasting and moisturizing. Pretty sure I got this in like 2012.
Sister at the ready. Throughout my makeup routine, especially after.
Sister James, not everybody has a fan at the ready. I have a piece of music. I'll use that.
Really like to go in with a light spritz of MAC Fix Plus. I feel like this really does a good job.
I love that about James Charles is that he says a light spritz. Light spritz.
We have to contour, because as good as our set, we're going to use contour and a bronzer, which are not the same thing. To
Well,
contour,
I only
today,
have
my
one,
Kat Von
James.
D Shade and Light Contour Palette. I really, really love the formula of this and the colors. And I'm going to use my Morphe M405 brush.
A brush
This is
that
like
I
a
got when I
medium
was
size.
in 8th grade. It's called Eye on Beauty Angle Blusher. That is for blush, but I'll be using it today for contour. He said that contour and bronzer are not the same thing, but all I have is bronzer, so we'll be using the Hoola Benefit. Let's watch.
Fluffy tapered contouring brush, and really allows you to get right in on that cheekbone. But before
Fluffy
I
and tapered.
contour, I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to bronze my face using my Benefit Hoola bronzer and my Morphe M527 brush. This is a very, very big fluffy brush, which allows us to get.
Well, not one of those. He said a big fluffy. I have a big fluffy, and it's a Sephora brush, airbrush powder. That's what I'll be using today. Okay, so we're gonna go in, and then we're gonna tap it off because we don't want too much in there. Then we're gonna go in. We don't want too much in there.
In right on the cheekbone and kind of place that powder on there.
It looks worse on camera than it does in real life. I promise you that.
It's obviously a warm tone shade, so now I'm going to grab that angle brush that I was talking about before, and dip into mostly this shade, but just a slight, tiny bit
The
of
same
this
shade.
one. Tap it off, and I'm going to be much more precise with the placement of my brush,
Okay.
and that is contouring. I'm going to imagine that there's a line right here from the top of my ear down to the corner of my mouth, and I'm going to place my brush right here and focus the most amount of color right here. We really want to make sure we're blending upwards as opposed to downwards, because the blending downwards is going to give us like a very, very... But I like to blend upwards, which give your cheeks a very, very lifted and beautiful look. Once again, holding the brush level to my face.
That looks bad. And this is why bronzer and contour are not the same thing, because you're just gonna look like 30, so face tune.
I'm going to take the contour powder on the fluffy end of this brush and start by blending in 2 lines on kind of the top of my nose on top of the bridge. If you're someone like me and you're trying to kind of fold the eye, not want to follow your natural nose shape in this situation, and you kind of want to place the contours where you wish your nose looked like in the first place.
Oh, pause. Calm down. Ooh, went up my nose. I have the e.l.f. blush brush. This one I'm going to lightly blend out my nose contour with. It looks ridiculous on camera, but I swear it looks normal in person. This looks dirty. Well, it's my fault because it's bronzer, so it's fine at this point. I don't know. Oh, he has blush. I don't know what expensive stuff he has, but I have the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Blush. Literally got this in 2011 at the end of my 6th grade year. Before he even tells me what I need, I'm just gonna tell you what I have. So I have this Sephora angled brush.
Making sure to not put too much on. A light wash of color can look very, very beautiful, but obviously. So once again, I'm gonna grab my MAC Fix Plus, and I'm gonna give my face a light spritz of water.
I'll be taking my MAC Fix Plus, and I'll be giving myself a light spritz. Everything on my desk is wet. I'm hating myself. So let's try.
The highlighter stick on very, very nicely, and I'm gonna grab my Anastasia So Hollywood. You guys know this is my all-time favorite.
No, but Ashley have a good highlighter, you guys. I have the Becca. What's it called? Becca Shimmering Skin Protector Pressed Pearl. This is what she looks like. My highlighting brush.
Favorite with my Morphe M501 brush.
My Sephora Pro Featherweight Crease.
It's that brush lightly as well, and you can see already how blinding that is. Oh, literally so pretty. Oh my god, do you just see how like flawless this looks? Like I said, you obviously do not need to do this, but everything looks so much lighter and so much more beautiful. Just trust me on this one. Side note as well, before I forget and move on, instead of using the same brush like the M501 that you use on your cheeks, grab a pencil brush or a really tiny brush like this one. This is the Morphe M4.
Everyone stop, I have a pencil brush. I have the eyeliner Ion Beauty brush. I guess I'll use this.
One, it has a pointed tip. Use obviously the same exact highlighter, but using a more defined brush for your nose highlight is going to really keep that illusion going and reinforce just the contour.
Okay, my face looks ridiculous on camera right now. I promise it looks normal in person. Disclaimer, this is not a tutorial.
More powder. You guys know the drill.
More powder. Oh, there is more powder, so we have to... Okay, but hold on. Can I look at this? Okay, it looks kind of normal in person, but on camera it literally looks like all of the stars from above are on my face. So let's give yourself a light spritz. And fan.
If you have dry skin, I would recommend skipping out on baking. Although it is a helpful step, it is definitely not necessary. And the addition of more
My nose is oily.
beforehand add unwanted texture. But if you're like
Wait,
me,
baking? This stupid powder is gonna go everywhere.
Once again, using my damp beauty blender and dipping into that powder, I always like to start off by placing this bake right on the sides of my nose to enforce the highlights, which once again further the illusion of a pinched and snatched nose. If you're someone who's just starting off with contouring or is struggling with placing the contour in the right place, I'm going to grab a little bit more powder and just pat this right underneath the line of my contour. And when I wipe this off in a little while, it's going to kind of brighten up that entire area and just clean up the contour, which just makes it look a little bit more defined and a little bit more cut and snatched.
Okay, thank you, James.
Please, that completes the base makeup for today.
Okay, hold on. Oh, I love my beard. Okay.
Next obviously comes brows and eyes, but for today's video, I'm going to go ahead and do the eyebrows off camera and skip out on the eyeshadow today, just because I feel like they're literally...
Now he finally finishes this look with what other than setting spray. Here we go. And this, sisters, is the final James Charles look. Except James Charles doesn't have lipstick on his tooth. The highlight does not look as in real life. The contour is a lot less intense in real life. So one of these days I'll have enough money to afford a camera and it will be better quality. But for now, get what you get. But that's it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will link the 2 videos that I've tried to follow of James down below. James, if you ever see this, which you're never going to, but if you do, thank you so much for liking my tweet. I'm a sister. James Charles liked my tweet. What? Follow my Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all down below. And subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me, and make sure you hit the bell notification if you want to be alerted when I post. Please leave a comment if you want to see me do my own makeup routine. It'll be a little, I'll look a little better than this, hopefully, but James looks a lot better than this, let me tell you what. I meant no shade or hate to James at all. I love him so much. I'm just not the best at makeup, but I tried. He looks great. He did a great job of explaining it. I'm just not very good at doing it. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or at least just give it a big thumbs up because I tried. I tried pretty hard, but whatever. Also, next week there will probably not be a video up because I will be in New Mexico with my friends, but don't panic because when I'm in New Mexico I'm gonna be vlogging and we have a couple of video ideas. So 2 or 3 videos may come out of my trip next week. So sorry I'll be gone for a week, but you're getting good things in return. So that's all I got. So later. Oh no. Well, there we go.